A very good morning to everyone, students. Students, now we will continue with the next poem of your honeysuckle book, and the name of this poem is Vocation, composed by Ravindranath Tagore. Okay. In this poem, there is one child who don't know about the harshness of life that the other people are facing in their life. He thought that whatever the other people are doing in their life is very good and they have got the freedom in their life except him. Okay, he don't know how they had faced the hardships of their life, and they have spent their life in a hard situation, but he thought that everyone will get the freedom except him, and he wanted that he also wants that freedom that the other people have had in their life. Okay, so let's start the poem. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to school by our lane, every day I meet the hawker crying bangles, crystal bangles. There is nothing to hurry him on, there is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. What is the meaning? Firstly, what is the meaning of gong? An object of metal which gives sound when struck. एक ऐसा ऑब्जेक्ट मेटल का जिसमें आप स्ट्रक करते हो तो कुछ साउंड निकलती है, जस्ट लाइक योर बेल इन योर स्कूल. ओके, when the gong sounds 10 in the morning, okay, and it is the time in about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it is the time to go to school by our lane. And when the child is going to school, every day he meet a hawker crying. Hawker means a person who travels about selling goods, advertising them by shouting. Okay, and he saw the hawker crying bangles, crystal bangles, and you also have seen when a hawker is shouting to sell their products at road or on the road, बैंगल्स और क्रिस्टल बैंगल्स, बैंगल्स क्रिस्टल बैंगल्स, चूड़ी ले लो चूड़ी, चूड़ी ले लो चूड़ी, इसी तरह से बोलते हैं हॉकर्स. There is nothing to hurry him on, and there is no road he must take, no place he must go, no time when he must come home. The child thought that after seeing that person, that there is nothing to hurry him, उसे कोई भी जल्दी नहीं है. But he has to reach the school on time. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to on time, no time when he must come home. And there is no actual time, proper time, fixed time that he must come home. Next line. I wish I were a hawker spending my day in the road crying bangles, crystal bangles. And look at the innocence of the child, because he don't know about the hardships of life, difficulties of life. He thought that I wish I were a hawker, कि मैं भी हॉकर होता, and I spending my day on the road by crying, by selling my products, crystal bangles, bangles, crystal bangles. When at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade. He soils his clothes with dust. Nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. Okay, now next paragraph. When at 4, when I came back from my school and I saw a gardener who is digging the ground. Digging means khodna. Okay, and I can see through the gate of that house, and I can see from my gate that the gardener is digging the house. Digging means khodna, break up the soil or earth with hands or tools. Okay, so he does what he likes with his spade. Again the child thought that how much freedom he had got in his life. He does what he likes. वो वही करता है जो उसे पसंद होता है. Spade means a sharp edged tool used for digging and cutting. Okay, and he soils his clothes with dust, and he also has the freedom to soil his clothes with dust. He he is not punished by anyone if his clothes is covered with dust or soils. Nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. Baked in the sun means heated of excessive sunlight or excessive sun exposure. अगर वो भीग भी जाता है और बेक्ड हो जाता है excessive heat से, nobody is going to punish him, but I have no choice. He wished that I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. कोई भी मुझे रोके ना to dig the soil. Just as it's get dark in the evening, after that the part of the day comes in the evening time and my mother sends me to bed. My mother sends me to go to bed. I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. Now I saw the watchman. He is walking up and down. कभी आगे जाता है, कभी पीछे जाता है. The lane is dark and lonely and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. And the lane in which he is walking up and down is very dark and lonely, and the street lamps like a giant. Giant means extremely big with one red eye in its head. The watchman swings its lantern. Swings means, वैसे तो swings means होता है झूलना. अपनी lantern को हिला रहा है and walks with his shadow at his side and never once goes to bed in his life. I wish I were a watchman walking the street all night chasing the shadows with my lantern. The child thought that it was a fun by doing all these things, but he don't know how the different types of people have faced difficulties in their life to survive his life and his family also. But he thought now the next wish he wanted to be that he were a watchman. He wanted to walk the street all night. Nobody calls him, nobody takes him to go to bed, and he wanted to chase the shadows with his lantern. He wanted the complete freedom that the other people has in his life. Okay, so this is your poem by Rabindranath Tagore, very interesting also, and this poem shows the innocence of a child, and by Rabindranath Tagore. This is composed by Rabindranath Tagore. I hope you have understood it. Okay, thank you.